I had just got off the phone with someone I had known for a while who has a daughter who has decided in her mind that she's going to make it a career of being a kept woman. And she's been doing this for about a decade or so now, and she's getting up in age. And apparently whatever plan she had in her mind to achieve wealth by doing this is not working out. Her children are getting older, and she's just finding herself in worse and worse financial messes. And every time she gets into a financial pickle, she's leaning on to her mother to get her out of the mess. And her mother is sharing with me about how she is just sick and tired of it. And she has officially cut her daughter off. Now, I didn't get into the details as to why her daughter has this type of thinking. I didn't get into what type of signals and the reason why she's thinking this, what she was exposed to, parenting or anything like that. I just basically let my friend speak because my friend needed somebody to talk to. Sometimes you got to do that, people. Sometimes when somebody comes to you with a problem, you may have an idea in your mind. You may have firsthand knowledge as to why the shit is hitting the fan. And it could be simple karma coming back, whatever the case may be. But sometimes when somebody's going through something, you just need to be quiet and just let them say what they need to say. Because sometimes when they express themselves, they might wind up talking themselves into a solution when it's all said and done. They might wind up coming up with the solution to the problem just by simply talking it out. So she finally decided, after years of this cycle of just cutting her daughter off. Now, let me tell you the scenario of the latest incident. As I stated before, her daughter is a kept woman. Her daughter was 17 years old when she had the first child. She was involved with a married man who had money. This is a young lady who decided to use her assets, her blessings. And she was, I don't know where she got the programming from, to figure to use what her mother gave her, so to speak, to get men of material wealth to pay her bills. She barely graduated high schools, but she had no ambition to get a career. She had no ambition to start a business or anything at all. She decided that she is going to be a kept woman. She's going to use her assets to have a man take care of her, someone wealthy. In most of these cases, they are married or legally separated. They're attached to another woman, and she wants the bills being paid. She's an official side piece. Not interested in dating anyone single, not interested in being in committed relationships. She just wants her obligations taken care of. And throughout the process of over a decade, she has had children from these married people. Now, a couple of times she did get overly attached to someone who was married, and of course she was given broken promises that they were going to leave their mate, and of course they never did. And over a period of time, when things got tough on the other person's end, they cut off the financial situation, and she was left in a lurch. And when I mean a lurch, I mean a big one. It would be a situation where they were either purchased a house for her or some kind of ride, and when they cut off the financial support, she either lost the vehicle or lost the home because she didn't work. So what happens in that case is that she either had to wind up moving in with her mother, who had to provide financial support, or getting large amounts of money from her mother to take care of her until her mother would go through the cycle of telling her, you got to go back to school and get a job, and she would go enroll in school or get a job just long enough to shut mama up, give her the impression that she is going to do this and do that, and make moves as if she's trying to be self-sufficient to take care of whatever obligation she had at the time, just long enough so she can get another married, wealthy individual into her life to take care of her obligations, and then she would quit doing what she was doing and go back into the mode of being a kept woman. This went on for over a decade. So now she has 2 children, 2 attached fathers who are not in her life because they are attached. Whether or not their spouses know about the children, I don't know. I was not given that information. So now this young lady is now in her 30s. And she's in a different mindset now because she's seeing other people that there's her peers are moving on to stages in their life where they're starting to get settled. And she's looking around and realizing that they are achieving things, achieving certain milestones where she feels that she should achieve. She's starting to feel left behind. She's starting to suffer serious FOMO. She's starting to see the consequences of her lack of action, her lack of not getting an education. And she can't do it now because she has the obligation of raising her children, because she does not have her partner, the parents, the other parent in their life, not to mention because the father is not in their life, the father's family is not in their life either because they're not even aware of the children. The mother's had enough. The mother's approaching retirement age. She has a good career, saved up quite a bit of money, has paid her debts, and she wants to live her retirement well. The father of this young lady is deceased now. Of course, my friend and the father were never married, but they co-parented for quite a while. So she's just had enough, and she doesn't want to spend her retirement, the fruits of her labor, trying to support her growing daughter. And she's tired of the cycle. I say this to say this, people. We all make mistakes when we're younger. We do. There's a time and place where we do have to pay for those mistakes. As you go through life, your mentality is going to change because stages in life change. The things that you do when you're 19 years old, you cannot do when you're 30. The things that you do when you're 30, you cannot do when you are 50. Because the stage of life that you're in is going to change. Period. It may change for the better, it may change for the worse. When you bring other people into this world, I, as well as other people, had to learn this the hard way. You have to make adjustments. Whatever adjustments you make, whether it's good or bad, there's going to be some consequences for them. And one thing you can't do is you can't figure every single time that you get into trouble that you're going to fall back on that one person every single time. And you can't make the same mistake all the time for numerous years and just assume that person is going to have your back every single time. Because there might be a situation where that person might want to help you, but they can't because of problems that they have. I've seen that happen. In this case, the mother could, but she's done. Now, this latest incident with this other person, not only has he cut her off financially, he's cut off communication altogether. She's tried to physically contact him, and he has actually put out a restraining order against her. She has not had any children with him, but he has actually removed all contact altogether. She can't contact him at all. It's apparent that his wife has no knowledge of the situation, and he does not want her to have any knowledge of the situation. And he's pulling out all the stops to make sure that she does not have any presence in his life whatsoever. He is trying to erase anything that he has as far as contact with this young lady. He's trying to. But of course, we all know that that's going to come back and bite him. So she was in a house that he put her up in. And the house, when he cut off the payments, she didn't have any payments, so she got evicted. She came to her mother, wanted to stay with the mother. The mother said, "You can't stay here." She has 2 children. So the mother said, "The children can stay with me, but you can't stay with me." So the children stayed with the mother for a while. So she said, what am I supposed to do? She said, I don't know. But you can't stay here. So what would you do in this situation? Even though that's your child, but this cycle, this mentality, would you still let them come in the house? So now my friend is looking to get custody of her grandchildren. So that's another part of her life that she might have to open up. She might have to wind up raising her grandchildren. So ever since that she didn't let her child come into the house, she may hear from her child maybe once or twice a week, doesn't know where her child is. Her child has been couch surfing with this friend and that friend. Last thing that she heard is that she would get a job for a day or two, make a few dollars. She would live in this hotel, that hotel. For all she knows, she might have taken up with this guy or that guy. But she said, you can't live in this house. But she said, these babies won't suffer. I think she made the right decision. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. It was a hard decision to make, but tough love is needed sometime, even though when they're grown. But if you're one of these young ladies who decided you want to live a kept lifestyle with a married man, understand time runs out. They're not going to leave their spouses in most cases. And if they do you want to replace the spouse because it's a matter of time before you wind up being the one that's cheated on? With that being said, I'm going to leave you with peace and love.